Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're going to be learning about the weird and wonderful world of mathematics. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. If you take a standard deck of 52 playing cards and shuffle it thoroughly, the resulting order of cards is so unique that it has almost certainly never existed before in the history of the world. What do you think? Is this an actual mathematical fact? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day. Our word for today is googol. That's Googol. A googol is a mind-bogglingly large number with 1 followed by 100 zeros. It's a number so vast that it's larger than the total number of atoms estimated to be in the entire known universe. And the story behind the number is actually just as interesting. In 1920, an American mathematician named Edward Kasner was looking for a name for this gigantic number to help explain it to children. He asked his 9-year-old nephew, Milton Serrata, what he would call such a number. The young boy replied, a googol, and the name stuck. Inspired, Kasner also asked Milton to name an even bigger number, 1 followed by a googol of zeros. Milton's reply, a googolplex. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun math facts. Number 1, in a small group of people, you'll almost certainly find 2 who share a birthday. This is famously known as the birthday paradox. If you've been listening to this podcast since its very first episode on birthdays, you're probably familiar with this one. It's one of the most classic examples of how probability can be counterintuitive. In a group of just 23 people, there is a greater than 50% chance that at least 2 of them share the same birthday. The month and the day, not necessarily the year as well. If you increase the group size to 57, the probability jumps to a staggering 99%. This seems impossible at first glance since there are 365 days in a year, not counting leap years. But the reason it works is that we often mistakenly think about the probability of someone matching our own birthday. The paradox, though, is about any 2 people in the group matching. With 23 people, there are 253 possible pairs of people who could share the same birthday. This large number of pairs is what makes the probability so surprisingly high. It's a great reminder that math and probability can often reveal surprising truths about the world around us. Number 2, the number 0 is a surprisingly recent invention. It might seem like a basic concept, but the idea of 0 as a number in its own right, not just a placeholder, was a revolutionary mathematical breakthrough. Ancient civilizations like the Romans and the Greeks had no symbol for 0, which made complex arithmetic and algebra incredibly difficult. You can imagine trying to do long division with Roman numerals. The first known use of 0 as an actual number with its own properties came from India. The Indian mathematician Brahmagupta wrote down the first rules for using 0 in calculations around the year 628 CE. This powerful new idea traveled through the Middle East and eventually made its way to Europe, where it laid the foundation for calculus, physics, and our modern technology. Without 0, we wouldn't have computers, digital clocks, or so many of the tools we use today. Number 3. There's a famous game show, Let's Make a Deal. Well, in that show, switching your choice is mathematically always the best move. This is one of the most famous and debated puzzles in all probability theory. It's called the Monty Hall problem, named after the host of the game show Let's Make a Deal. Imagine you're on the show. You're shown 3 closed doors. Behind one door is a brand new car. Behind the other 2 are goats. You pick a door, let's say door number 1. You have a 1 in 3 chance of picking a car. The host, who knows what's behind each door, then opens one of the doors you didn't pick, let's say door number 3, to reveal a goat. He then asks, do you want to stick with your original choice of door number 1, or do you want to switch to door number 2? Most people think it's a 50-50 chance and that it doesn't matter if you switch, but they're wrong. You should always switch. When you first made your choice, your door had a 1 in 3 chance of being right, which means the other 2 doors combined had a 2/3 chance of hiding the car. When the host opens the door to reveal a goat, he isn't changing the original odds. He's giving you new information. That entire 2/3 probability consolidates onto the one remaining closed door. By switching, you're essentially betting on the 2/3 odds, doubling your chances of winning the car. Number 4. The number pi will go on forever and never repeat. We all learned about pi in school, the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter, roughly 3.14159. But the true nature of pi is far more mysterious and fascinating. Pi is what's known as an irrational number. This means its decimal representation goes on for infinity without ever falling into a repeating pattern. Computers have calculated pi to over 100 trillion digits, and no repetition has ever been found. But it gets even stranger. Pi is also a transcendental number, which is a special kind of irrational number. In simple terms, this means that pi cannot be the solution to any simple algebraic equation with whole number coefficients. This unique property places it in a special class of numbers that have fascinated mathematicians for centuries. Number 5. There's a shape with a finite volume but infinite surface area. Imagine a trumpet so long that it stretches out to infinity. This shape, known in mathematics as Gabriel's horn, has a truly mind-bending property. You could completely fill the entire horn with a finite amount of paint. Its volume is exactly equal to pi cubic units. Yet, if you tried to paint the surface of the horn, you would never finish. The surface area is infinite. This paradox works because the horn gets infinitesimally thin as it stretches out. Its opening narrows so quickly that the volume it encloses converges to a specific finite number. But the surface area doesn't shrink fast enough and continues to add up forever, resulting in an infinite sum. It's a perfect example of how math, especially calculus, can lead us to conclusions that defy your everyday intuition. You can hold a shape with a limited inside and an unlimited outside. Now for some news you can use. Here's a classic practical math trick that's very useful for simplifying numbers, checking your work, or even splitting a bill among 3 friends. It's the divisibility rule for the number 3, and it lets you know if a larger number can be divided by 3 evenly without ever having to do the division. To check if any number is divisible by 3, all you have to do is add up all the digits. If the sum is a number that's divisible by 3, then the original number is too. So imagine you have a number like 471. Is it divisible by 3? Add up the digits. 4 plus 7 plus 1 makes 12. Since 12 is divisible by 3, 12 divided by 3 is 4, we know that 471 is also divisible by 3. This trick is based on how our base 10 number system works, and it's a neat piece of number theory that has practical applications, as I said, like if you're trying to split a check with friends. As a bonus, a very similar rule works with the number 9. If the sum of the digits is divisible by 9, then the original number is also divisible by 9. And if you're going to check your work with multiplication, if you are multiplying by a 3 or by a 9, the end product should have digits that add up to a number that's divisible by 9 or 3. Now for the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, I asked if it's true that a shuffled deck of cards creates an order so unique that it's probably never existed before. Well, that's a fact. The reason for this lies in a branch of math called combinatorics and a truly enormous number known as 52 factorial, written as 52 with an exclamation. This means you multiply 52 times 51 times 50 times 49 and so on, all the way down to 1. The result is an almost incomprehensible number, an 8 followed by 67 zeros. This number is larger than the estimated number of atoms on Earth. Because the number of possible combinations is so astronomically vast, it's statistically a near certainty that anytime you shuffle a deck of cards, you are creating an order that has never existed before in human history. So the next time you shuffle a deck for a game of cards, take a moment to appreciate that you're holding something truly cosmically unique. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about math with me today, and be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.